At the glass.
Oh, yay!
Dollarama.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Should be live. Boarding the cruise, the world's highest LiftLock here in Peterborough. First come, first serve seating. Reserve spot at 1 p.m. today. Had to come and wait at 30 minutes before boarding, 12:30. So there's about 60 reserved spots, and it seats 90 people, I believe. So we're gonna go on the top if we can. Shoot, there's gonna be music on here, so gonna be copyright, and hopefully the signal is good. If the signal's not good, then I don't know what we're doing with the screen. I don't know what the view is like. You're on the harness right now. It looks like too close for my, I don't know why it's like this. No, we're good.
Seeing over the deck already. Watch your step on there. Watch your head.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Great, and you? Awesome. All right, so thanks to all the donations, gifted memberships, and monthly members, for this is paying for this. I hear music. I hope it's not on too loud. All right, so this is my first time. Everything here will be my first time. So let's find a seat. This should be good. Probably away from the speaker. All right, so I'm gonna mute off and on to control any copyright. So give me a second. I will mute now. And the signal looks good, right? And I'm gonna be mostly silent through this cruise because I want to just take in the sights and sounds. So I think we got a good seat. Let me mute for a minute. Okay, I think lowering now. They might have announcements, like tour announcement thing. Okay, hang on. Let me mute my second phone. Okay, I'll do a quick hello. And then, okay, Hard Dot is here. 2 women, Becky. That's it for now. Okay, I'm gonna share my links, so bear with me. Oh, here comes more music. Let me mute again. My apologies. Or tell me what's the music level. Can you guys hear? And I'm trying to pre-record any of this, but I doubt it. Everything's screwing up on me right now. But can you let me know? I wish they wouldn't put on the music because I want to just hear the nature. Let me one more share. Okay, I'm gonna mute for a minute. Two women, are you saying you don't hear anything? It's quite loud to me. Okay, I'm going to mute again because it's a popular song. Hi, Randy. Welcome. Yeah, and I hopefully the signal is going to be good. If it cuts out, bear with me. And if I might, and that's why I'm going to pre-record some of it. So we're going on a LiftLock. You can Google and get the info. LiftLock Peterborough. I'm muting again because of the music. Oh, hopefully they don't have the music throughout this cruise. I'd rather not have the music, I'd rather the sights and sounds, the nature. Music is, for this, is unnecessary. But I'm gonna mute again. Can somebody else, you all let me know the volume level of their music? Hi, Bear in the Garden. Two Women says no music. But, okay, muting.
Writing it down already. Picture? Do you want the microphone? Do you want the pose? Here, hold on. That's $5, sir. Yeah, right. There's always a Captain Morgan somewhere in this fleet.
Oh, good. He killed the music.
Okay. How's everybody's Canada Day's festivities? Pretty good time? Fantastic. See, we're still kind of still decorated. We're not taking them down yet. Normally it lasts for the whole weekend, but it was a Tuesday this week. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, the talkative group. I like that. So, out of curiosity, and unfortunately, anybody sitting downstairs at the moment, you cannot participate in this because I cannot see you. But for everybody upstairs with me, a quick show of hands. Who is going over the LiftLock today for the very first time?
Woo, me.
Excellent, me too.
Oh, you're a rookie.
It's good for bar sales. And I said today, oh, watch out, I play on words. Is there anybody from out of country today? Who's from another country? Show me your hands.
Oh,
where are you from?
Country.
New Jersey's on board.
New Jersey in the house.
Alberta's like another country.
I'm from Toronto.
Where are you from?
Uganda.
New Garda's on board.
Woo.
Florida's on. You left Florida to come for a boat ride in Peterborough.
Does Toronto count?
France on board. Anybody else? Show your hands. Where you from? Arizona's on board as well. Alberta as well. Fantastic. Is there anybody from Peterborough on board? Hey, there's actually quite a few of you. 5 or 6 of you. 7, 8, 9. Not my biggest number. Not my smallest number. I love to ask where people are from, ladies and gentlemen. You guys can believe me or not, but I have probably met somebody from every country in the world, and I'm not here joking. I probably met somebody from every country in the whole world. You know, this being my first day and all. Got me. But also believe this, most people who live right here in Peterborough have never been over this LiftLock. And I'd like to use Niagara Falls as an example. Because if you happen to live in Niagara Falls, you do not just go out and hang out by the falls. You see it on a daily basis. You don't recognize it as the same as the other people who come to see it, right? It's the same thing with the Peterborough. How many of you are from Toronto, the Greater Toronto area today? Show me your hands really quick. There's always people from there. When's the last time any of you were at the CN Tower? And I can almost guarantee it, the last time you were there is because of a guest or visitor from out of town.
10, 20 years ago at least.
It's the same thing with the Peterborough guys. This LiftLock we have is quite literally plastered all over the city. There is probably more businesses in this town right now with the word LiftLock in it than there are franchises. With the exception of Tim Hortons, because they're everywhere. So you do see people from Peterborough on board. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You guys want to go for a boat ride?
Sure.
Here comes the official induction of my radio voice, and I hope you guys are ready for this because I worked on my radio voice all winter long to entertain you guys for 20 seconds. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, welcome to LiftLock and the Remote Cruises. My name is Jody, and I get to be your captain for the rest of this cruise. And regardless what anybody else around here may possibly tell you, Jody is a boy's name. Let's go for a boat ride, you guys.
Sorry, I'm just going to send out shorter messages because I'm multitasking. Thanks, Randy.
You guys said we'll get a horn today. Let's go.
So, and welcome Twitch viewers. We're here in Peterborough, Ontario, on the lock lift.
As we all begin back away the dock right now, we'll draw your attention over here to the right-hand side of the starboard side of this vessel. There's this old train bridge right over here, and right on the other side of that train bridge, you see that very large factory. That is Quaker Road's factory, everyone. The original 5-story wooden structure actually burned completely to the ground back in the early 1900s in a devastating fire that left only the very large brick chimney standing. Since then, they've rebuilt. They've added to the factory several times, and this is exactly where they make all the granola bars, hot cereals, cookies, and other such treats, which are shipped all over the world right from this very factory.
I don't want anything to fall out of my bag into the water. Oh, there's a train!
You see a little further up the river, everyone. It's Trip University. It is right at Trip University where this waterway splits. A majority of that water travels down through several dams, hydroelectrical plants, right by Quaker Roads into this spring where we are all sitting right now. Although there is a secondary channel. This was the time that a man by the name of Richard Birdsall Rogers, or Harvey Rogers as we like to call him, he was hired to overcome the 77-foot elevation change, or roughly about 23 meters from the lake that we're sitting in now to that level of the river right up the university. It was at this time that he decided to build a giant hydraulic lift lock, a conventional flood lock, and of course the canal system. We're all going to travel today. It's nice to see the train is going to hold some of the canal system as well in front of us, everyone. It is at this time that I would like to let everybody know that I am licensed by Transport Canada. We are certified by the Canadian Coast Guard to do trips just as we are doing today. On board, we do have life jackets and other life-saving devices. If we're going to need these, however, my crew on
Hello,
board
crying hippie.
quickly hand these out.
I'm gonna be silent.
The majority of the water we travel in today is actually just
taking
a couple
the
feet or
views
to keel
and
of this very
everything.
vessel. So we do sink all the way down to the bottom today, ladies and gentlemen. Stand up, you're going to be just fine. Making our way out to the water today. If my driving seems to make any of you a little bit nervous, well, we do have a fully stocked bar here on board. That's sometimes very important. We also have coffee, tea, and other cool soft drinks. And if I happen to scare you really badly, right there on the lower deck, right across the bar, we also have washrooms. So I think we're pretty much prepared. For the next hour and 50 minutes or so, we may be out in the water. Making our way through the marina, also right off to our right-hand side. If you have ever been to Peterborough before, you might be able to notice there is now a very large white triangular-shaped structure missing right over here. The open-air amphitheater. It was condemned by the city a couple of seasons back. Well, the city has now purchased the mobile unit that is sitting here in place. Constructed here just before Saturday for our very first concert and concert candidate festivities yesterday. This piece of property in which it all happens is known as Del Curry Park. It's named after a local TV radio celebrity right here in town, Mr. Del Curry. But for many years, this piece of property, it was actually known as Hospital Point. Back in the early days, the only way to access this area was by water. People would then be spending weeks or sometimes even months in vessels. As they would arrive in Peterborough, they would be shocked that this very piece of property was there. They would be quarantined. Quarantined as the landlord for 40, because that's how many days they got kept there before released to the general population. We have left the marina behind us. We're now on one of the smallest lakes on the Trent Severn Waterway. It does have a very appropriate name, I might add. It is known as Little Lake. And it is only 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer wide at its widest point. Of course, out in the center of our lake here, we normally have 2 flotation devices. We only have 1 here now. The Peterborough Centennial Fountain up and operating. It was first placed here in the lake in 1967. This is a free float, well, you know. I guess I shouldn't really say that it was first place here, because in reality, when it was first placed in this lake many, many years ago, it was actually put far into the bay, but way up into the right-hand side of this mountain. And it was so far into the bay, in fact, that oftentimes on a breezy day, the mist from the fountain could be carrying right over top
again
of the
on my
roofs of
own.
most of these houses. We can all see up here to the right. We know this is Crescent Street, and the people that used to live on Crescent Street, they used to complain to the city almost daily that they felt that they were receiving a second shower on their way to work every morning.
Ruben, welcome.
Although they had the greatest lawns in town, nothing was ever done about these complaints. That was until this very same mist continued to drift over the maple trees that are way over in the right-hand corner of the bay. We know this is Little Lake Cemetery. From there, I understand it again. Some of the headstones. Not exactly sure who's over there, but they started to complain. Innocent Clipper came in and missed 100,000 people, says right there. Although many of us do inhabit Peterborough now, way back in the early 1800s, we had a band with the name of Stock Club here. One aspect arrived here, he quickly discovered this area. It was absolutely covered in huge white pine trees. So he decided to put in a mill. As that mill began to prosper, a small community then started to grow around them, brought up under the name Scott's Mills, and actually kept the name for quite a few years. That was until about 1825. It was in 1825 we had a man by the name of Peter Robinson come here. And when Peter Robinson came here, he brought with him 2,000 people from Ireland. It was at that time that each of the male and family not only given 100 acres of land, but they were also given enough provisions to last them almost an entire year. As the population then began to quickly start exploding around this area, they started nicknaming it Petersburg, after Peter Robinson. And eventually that name stuck. That's why we all know it as Peterborough today. Into the more recent years, however, the city of Peterborough has come to recognize having this small lake right here in the center of our city. So oftentimes this property has come up for sale to water's edge. The city has swooped in. They have bought up that property, tore down a lot of the old homes and factories that used to be on them just to make way for more parkland. As we do continue glancing off to the left-hand side, we're going to pass by the only few homes that are still privately owned and right above the edge of the water. And they probably will be privately owned for many years to come, with the waterfront market value increasing dramatically, especially over the last decade or so. We're going to keep our attention drawn off the left-hand side here for just a few more moments. We're going to go right by the Mark Street Boat Launch, not getting very much use here after Canada Day. And you will get a glimpse of the Brown Seas base. It's hidden in behind the trees. But we all get a really good view of one of our first of two long sandy beaches. For many of the old-timers in our area, this piece of property that is off the left, it might just be known as Marble Beach. And that is because through the late early 1900s, there was a marble finishing plant operating on this site. As a matter of fact, even the beach we have here today was actually made by that finishing plant. They would bring in loads of sand, 1 or 2 loads per day over the years, mix that sand with high-pressured water and use it to cut, shape, and polish marble. When they were done with that product, they would simply take it right out back of the factory and dump it right here at Water's Edge. And this eventually created the sandbar beach we see out here today. The property has been renamed to Rogers Cove after Mr. Richard Birdsell Rogers, the man who did design and build our Peterborough LiftLock. A lot of people still call it Marble Beach. If we had any avid rock collectors on board today, you can still go out to this beach, walk about 2 feet onto the water, dig down about a half foot to the sand, taking out all different shapes, sizes, and colors of marble. I recommend doing that on a nice hot day like this. Quickly approaching the fairway, and on either side of the boat, you should be able to notice either the single red or the single green marker that do float in the channel, indicating to boaters safe passage through here, as there's relatively deep water. Right out in front of us, you have a single green marker. Well, this indicates to boaters that we want a change in the channel, or a Y in the road, let's say. The main channel does travel from left to right, or right to left across in front of us, where that secondary channel right back in behind us to the marina where we just left. If we were to come up to this marker today and take the right-hand turn, go around the corner, down and through Lock 19 and the Otonabee River, continue on east and south for several days travel, we would eventually get to the edge of Lake Ontario. This would be in Trenton, Ontario, and at that point, we had lock number 1. The locks are then numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 through the system.
He did say there are light
Lock
jackets
19,
here, but I don't know.
across the lake directly
I
where we
wasn't paying
all are
attention.
right now, and then right into Lock 20, the first lock that we'll get to see today. The locks are then continuously numbered 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 through the rest of the system. Eventually you do get to the edge of Georgian Bay, which is Port Severn, lock number 45. The distance from Trenton, lock number 1, to Port Severn, lock 45, it's about 245 miles, or of course 386 kilometers. It passes right through central Ontario, makes it one of our longest inland water routes. But even more important than that, the second largest national park in Canada. Now, I can notice Lock 20 is exactly right across from the boat. The gates are still so tightly shut. Looks like we're going to have a couple of CDs joining us with this package here today. Plus, a couple more depending on things that are doing at the moment. If you were to come up to this particular situation on any given day, most of us should be able to notice the portion of the concrete wall up ahead on the left-hand side that is painted blue. It also has a very appropriate name. It's called the Blue Line. And there is a blue line at the top and bottom of every lock and every reach through this entire system. And what it is for is our situation right here. You show up the locks and those gates are closed tight. Tie yourself to this blue line. It quickly indicates the lock master you're trying to pass through. They'll do anything that means necessary to put you through quickly and efficiently. Tie up anywhere else, much like the main line or off the left-hand side, you're basically just a visitor. If you're not to go talk to a lockmaster directly, they're not likely to open the gates that you pass. We do not have to tie to the blue line. We call in advance and know that we're coming. They're cracking the gates open for us right now. If there's any boats inside of here, we'll have to wait for them to leave. Looks like it's an empty lock today. When we pull this lock itself, we will wrap our lines around black cables that run down on either side of these locks, and that is to prevent us from bouncing around when they start to flood the water in. A couple quick safety reminders from my masters right now. If we happen to have any smokers on board, I would like to let you know, absolutely no smoking within any lock chamber through this entire system. It has something to do with fire and explosions lock attendants are just not very fond of. But if you're chewing, you can continue to chew. Aim on the right-hand side of the starboard side of this vessel. Please keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. We will be brushing up against the walls here today, guys.
Trying to get it. That is the best view over there. Now what? Closing from behind? Oh shoot. It's closing from behind, but I can't get that view. I was calling it Lock Lift earlier. Look at the name turned around. Look.
You can go up and take a look, take a picture. Miss Gary.
Oh yeah?
I was talking to
So
Sarah.
let's get up.
Come up, take a look, take a picture, but don't stand up there for the cruise, guys. One other people want to come up, take a look, take a picture. Everybody sitting behind you wants to see past you, so come up and do that. Go back to your seats. Appreciate myself. Anybody sitting behind you, and no one will wind up overboard. Oh, we do not throw people overboard around here either. We call it testing safety equipment. We don't do that today either.
Oh no.
Just fell out when you started off. Just so you know.
Fell out of where?
A screw.
There's not even screws like that up there. That's all stringed on. Thank you, though. I'll put it in the collection. Yeah. I said I'm going to put it in the collection. We have a whole bucket of them down in the basement. Yeah. Now, I'm just going to point something out here, ladies and gentlemen. I've never seen this before. One of these Sea-Doos they're filming have a looper flag on it. So the green Sea-Doo has a looper flag. You guys know what loopers
You got
are?
the best seat.
I'm going to entertain you guys what a looper is, okay? So someone usually comes to them up in the phone area. When spring comes around, your head's going to be close to water line. So you see
I'm gonna put you on the harness so I can get it on my other phone. And yes, we will. There's somebody operating it over there. Alright. I don't want to hog the space. But that's what you guys. We can go back to our seats. Go to the back.
Always close these gates in a V formation. This always faces upstream, so when the weight of the water comes into this lock, it actually holds these gates even tighter shut. They've done close the gates behind us. They've now already walked up to the gates directly in front of us, and using these crank mechanisms. One of the gate up front to the left-hand side of the green canopy. I'm pretty sure most of you can see that one. The other one's quite a bit hard to see. My wheelhouse is probably in the way. But to the right-hand side of the green sign on the
There's
right.
people waiting.
Open up or operate. What's now is a gate valve. Basically, just a trap door, everyone. Hit it at the base of the water.
Where are these people?
Very bottom of the gates, so you cannot actually see them.
But they turn the cranks that push on a bar. The bar then opens up the gate valve, and the water is now flooding in from the canal in front of us. Essentially, this is exactly why we call these flood locks, everyone. Because as they flood water in now, we're all rising up 4 meters or 12 feet. And on our return trip, they're going to flood
Who are
the water
those
back
people?
out again as we go back down. Now, since we're up close
Oh,
to
they're
the
just coming-
the sea goes right behind us, we'll run up pretty quick.
Oh,
We
they're
should
coming.
get within the 10 to 12 minute period.
Oh, they're just.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
the more boats they put in here, ladies and gentlemen, the longer it
All right, let's
takes.
go back to our seat.
And they try and cram as many boats into these locks as they possibly can. It's kind of like a giant game of Tetris for them.
Mm.
And let me tell you, I have seen boats in here every which way. Not only seen every single cable inside of this lock right here built up, well, I have also seen boats tied to the front of the boats and tied to the back of the boats. I've even seen 2 boats tied between 2 of the boats. Come to think about it. The only thing I have never seen in here, ladies and gentlemen, is a boat upside down.
Thank goodness.
I'm sure that day is coming. As long as it's not
Thank
my boat.
goodness for
And
that.
preferably not today either, because it would be a lot of paperwork. And who wants to do paperwork? Not this guy. Did you guys know that the very first idea or concept of a lock like this right here was actually designed by Leonardo da Vinci? Yes, it was. Well, this was, of course, until an Englishman come around. It was a gentleman by the name of William Lock. This is sometime back around the 14th or 15th century. He actually decided to build one of these things. And this is how they got the name locks, everyone. And not Da Vinci's. Personally, I think Da Vinci got a ring to it. Hear me out for a second. The world's highest hydraulic Da Vinci. It's not that bad, right? Or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Da Vinci Tours. I'm trying to start a new trend, but it's just not catching on. You know what? I'm going to call it Da Vinci for the rest of the day. If there is another cruise going out today, they'd be confused. We have several different types of Da Vinci along these waterways. It's going to come around, I'm telling you. Conventional flood locks, like we are all sitting in right now, everyone, plus our modern version of these, and that's with the steel gates in the back. We also have a 3-gate version of these. We call them flight locks. They look just like this lock right here, except for halfway through, there's another set of gates. You show up, that middle gate's already closed. They close the gate behind you, then they bring you up, say, 5 or 6 feet. They then open the middle gate, you move ahead 10 feet, they close the middle gate again and bring you up another 5 or 6 feet. They are called flight locks. They're basically just 2 locks adjacent to each other. Peterborough's giant hydraulic lift lock, the next one we all get to see. Kirkfield on our system also has a lift lock. Everyone is just a little smaller than ours though. The Port Severn lock number 45 on this system.
My phone is
Well,
hot.
this one has its own very unique lock in itself. One of a
Heat
kind,
it
as a
up,
matter of
man.
fact. They call it Big Shoot, or the ring round one. What happens there is completely different. Drive your motor to a giant rail car. It's specially designed, of
Okay,
course.
now we got to
Then they
move
strap you
on. I
around
don't
with
have
these giant
much
straps.
storage.
And then they pull the rail car, boat and all, right up out of the water, up onto a big dry hill, and then into water that is on the other side of that hill. Well, it's quite a ways up the waterway, though, guys. We're not going to see that one for that. And I highly recommend you do not watch any YouTube video of this. They're all extremely long and very boring. But if you actually went up and seen the piece of machinery, it is an amazing
Oh,
piece
we
of
live
machinery.
streaming. I don't find it
You
boring.
guys know where else there's an amazing lock, as a matter of
Negative.
fact? In Scotland. Scotland has a
It's
magnificent
not
lock.
boring unless
It's
you
called
think
the
it's
Falkirk
boring.
Wheel.
I don't find
It's in
it boring.
Falkirk, Scotland. It's funny how they do that, right? It runs on the same basic principles are a big
Well,
lift lock, everyone,
getting
with a heavy chamber up at the
boring.
top and a lighter chamber on the bottom.
Starting.
But instead of going up and down from side to side like ours does, it does a half-moon crescent shape in a Ferris wheel style. Big 2, like 100 feet high. Go check this thing out. YouTube this thing. It's super neat. Modeled after Celtic axis. You know what I would really love to do?
What would you
I
have?
would love to get a hold of the captain that possibly does tours over this, and maybe we could swap for a week or 2. We'll call it the Captain Exchange Program. Lock swap. That's a good one. Da Vinci swap. License is permitting, of course. It'd be pretty simple to do, though, realistically, right? I would mail him my commentary, and then he would mail me his, and don't get me wrong. I would have to say "eh" at the end of every sentence if it was Canadian, right? And sometimes it's tough for us to pick up the thick Scottish accent, but it's for the experience. I wonder if that guy talks about me. He better, because I talk about him.
What if it's a her?
Yeah, so give me her. I don't mind. I wouldn't mind having a girl captain on our fleet, actually. All these guys are boring.
All right.
Don't tell him I said that. Before we go too much further, is there any birthday celebrations, anniversaries going on about here today? Nobody brought their wife here on the 25th wedding anniversary, did they? And said, honey, I'm going to take you on a cruise. And then you wound up here. Because I have a secret for you. This is not the cruise that she wanted, guys. 25 years married, first day divorce, just saying. Just about right, Dave? I thought I'd ask. There was also one time, everyone, when passing through our locks right here were entirely free. Quite a number of years ago, it was Parks Canada that started to let fees to pass through these locks. It is judged by length of your vessel and for every foot of that vessel. For the small runabout boat, the kind you pull behind your car, your truck or such, it does start off at around $1.60 a foot, and then it starts to go up a little bit depending on what kind of pass you get, but relatively inexpensive. A single lockage like we're all doing right now is actually one of the worst of those. Let's say somewhere between $18 and $25 for a small boat like that to pass through, where the day pass only about $25 to $30. Get the day pass, guys. You can also get a week's pass. It is actually good for any 6 days through this entire season, including the day you purchase it. A month's pass was kind of self-explanatory. They've abolished it, though. And the season's pass is also kind of self-explanatory. It is good for the whole season. And for that same type of boat, we're going to say up and around, say, the $300 to $400 mark. Not too awfully bad. Or, if you were just lucky enough to be born before 1927, guess what? You can still get a free pass. Yes, you can.
Well,
Hold on, though. There are some rules and stipulations, of course. We were talking about the federal government here.
Okay.
You see, some gentlemen used to bring grandma down on the sea every year and try and get a free pass, so they put a stop to that. Your boat cannot be any longer than 18 feet long, and you also have to be the owner and operator of that vessel. Could you guys see my 102-year-old great-grandmother showing up on a sea to get a free pass? I don't think so. That's a catch. Now, just to let everybody know, I shouldn't let the secret out because it caused havoc for me. But from now until Labor Day, free lockages, everyone. So people can use boats in the water and travel the system. Just don't do it in Peterborough. Yeah, because I'm here. So as we get close to the top here right now, everybody, pretty safe to assume, if I do not talk to this microphone right here, all the people that are sitting downstairs right now, guess what? Cannot hear me. So since we're all up here and there's some people downstairs, well, let's have some fun with the people downstairs, shall we? Can't have fun at work, why come to work? Can't laugh at I'm doing it, they'll know. Hey, we hit the top of the lock here now. You can see the canal stretching out in front of us. Oh no, there's a great big blue bridge blocking the way. A lot of people are not aware of this, but what we have on our vessel here at LiftLock Cruise Line is something that I like to call the flood valve. So what I'm going to do here in just a minute is I'm going to fire up the engines. We are then going to flood the entire bottom deck and go underneath that blue bridge. So if you're sitting downstairs right now, I sure hope you're wearing sandals. There's no room up here. The water level does have to exactly equal out from the locks that we are in comparison to the canal directly in front of us, everyone. For there's a couple inches of difference or so, it is actually impossible for the lock attendants to swing the gates open. The weight bearing down of these gates is an incredible number. It is estimated about 5 tons per square meter of water. But once the water level does equal out relatively easy, they'll swing these gates in front of us open. One of them I've already headed up there to swing the blue bridge in front of us open, and we'll continue on our way, rising the total of 4 meters or 12 feet from the lake that we started in to the canal directly in front of us. It's a nice fan. They stuck mine to the wall. Yeah. They're probably tired. I imagine they were pretty busy here this morning. A lot of people come down, spend the night on the lake for Canada Day, so this walk, they probably did 4 or 5 in a row this morning. I didn't ask them, but I'm guessing. That's a good workout.
No, he's. I can't see, sir.
Oh, sorry.
We all can't see. Again, there's a lot of people here, and they're all standing up. Oh, great. All right. I definitely need to do this again. I pre-record. I want the front row.
Yeah, let's go, boys. As we wait for the blue swing bridge to start slowly opening out in front of us today, when R.B. Rogers was passing through this area, had himself a younger sister. So they decided when they put this blue swing bridge in to name the swing bridge and the street that does run along with it after his younger sister, known as the Bryant Street Bridge, everyone. And as we can all imagine, especially during the very busy summer months right here in town, the bridge in front of us will swing 5 or 6. It could even swing up to 10 times an hour. This normally holds up traffic in both directions for an awfully long way. Should know that people of Peterborough here, they're an awfully patient bunch. They will quietly sit in their cars, they'll talk amongst themselves, or listen to the radio for 10 or even up to 15 minutes at a time. You know what? Sometimes they even get downright friendly, take but a moment of their busy schedules to even roll down their windows and wave at us. Oddly enough, sometimes it's only one finger extended. But if that's the case, I want you all just to smile and wave back. I'm sure it's just a friendly Peterborough greeting. As we get by this blue swing bridge, the next old bridge we're all going to come up to and go by right up here on our right, that of the old CP rail line. It actually used to be a VIA line for a great many years, connected a lot of the small towns from Canal all the way to Toronto. They've discontinued that VIA service. It is just basically used for freight train operation nowadays. There is a lot of talk about bringing that VIA service back now, however, Sparkling Waters Rail Line's construction is supposed to begin this year. Let's see if that actually goes through. Train bridge coming up, still swings a couple times a day. We'll see the train going by as we're loading the boat today. Getting ready to cross this bridge. The largest user of this track is Quaker Oats. They do bring in most of the grain products in through rail truck. The second largest user of this track is a company called Uniman Mines. It's got a new name now, but they still mine the exact same thing, nepheline cyanite. It is used for a lot of different things, but a raw material for pottery. Back in the old days, too, men would have to come down here with a very large turnstile key, drop it right into the center of this bridge, and then walk around in circles, very much like the locket dentist did the last lockage. Taking them about 15 or 20 minutes so to close this train bridge each way. Nowadays, though, they do use a 5-horse electric engine, does the exact same task, but a bit quicker. They know we close the train bridge in about 5 or 6 minutes. Nonetheless, if we had a power outage in this area and they needed to open and close this large train bridge, they could still do that manually. Through a very large majority of this canal system right here in town, if you just glance down to either side of us, right down here where the water meets the shoreline, there's all these cage baskets filled with flat rock. Today known as Gavy Walling. This is used in Venice, Italy. It dates all the way back to Egyptian times when you used to have canals that crisscross through Egypt. The gaving walling right here in Peterborough does two things. One, following behind us right now, we have a large wave or wake. As this wave or wake washes into the gaving walling, very quickly dispersed. So no matter how many boats are traveling up and down our canal, it is always nice and smooth. The second thing it does prevents the shoreline from eroding back into the center of this canal. For if this gaving walling was not here, everyone, this canal would fill up with soil in one very short season of operation. Not only do boaters and fishermen alike use our canal system right here in town, just across the road from us is LiftLock Golf Land. It's an 18-hole golf course. It's actually a rather nice course to run. Well, if their grass was looking a little gray or shady, let's say, they have a pump house that's just up ahead on the other side of the road. A tube that runs under the road and right to the side of our canal. So whenever they need to water their lawns, all they do is turn on the irrigation system, sucks water from the canal underneath the road, and it is dispersed throughout their entire property.
Is this it already?
Rounding this final maple tree coming up here, everyone, we are now all approaching the highlight of our trip, which is the Peterborough Hydraulic LiftLock. When this structure coming up first opened well over 100 years ago, at the time it was the world's largest solid piece of concrete. Because there were no structures that were anywhere in the world as large as this and made entirely out of concrete. And what this is, everyone? Two very large identical chambers. They're resting side by side. Each one of these large chambers are both resting on very large black cylinders. We're going to see one of the cylinders stretching out on the right-hand side today. Each one of those cylinders, and directly below them, they are connected to press welds, and they go some 80 feet into the ground. But 127 feet below the Canadian flag of that center column tower, a large crossover valve connects the two large press welds. Give you all a quick explanation about how this works, and once we get right inside the chamber today, hopefully they'll give me enough time to explain it a little bit more in detail. Probably right about now, most of us should be able to see, or at least get a glimpse of the one chamber way up there on the right, and that secondary chamber is in its lower position on the left.
No.
Its
Oh,
large
I wanted
gate
to
has
show you how
already
to
opened up. We
large
got green lights into the
the
chamber.
frame.
Yeah, I can
We're
still
going to
do
pass
it.
right
No.
over top of that gate.
the fuller
They
frame.
won't that close the gate to the house. It is at that time the lockmaster who's way up in the tower, he doesn't get to open the crossover valve. The chamber that's in the air will come down, causing our chamber on the ground to rise up 65 feet, or 19.8 meters. Or at least it did yesterday. July 10th, 1904, this opened up, everyone.
I'm gonna
So
put you on the
less than a
harness.
week away, this structure is
I'm gonna
burning
try to get a
121 years
moment
old.
on the other phone.
When
Oh.
they first started building this back in 1896, they estimated it would take about 6 years to build this.
Crouch down so I'm not in the way of others.
27,000 cubic meters of material inside of this large hill. This was all Canada, man. They then planned to pour an additional 26,000.
But right now I don't even know what your view is.
This is the world's largest concrete structure.
Thank you.
The total estimated cost of building this structure way back then, $250,000. You couldn't buy the concrete for much money anymore. Although it did take a little over 8 years to build, they wound up topping off a
I
little
can't
over
see the view. I'm trying to get you a good view without the bars in the way. Okay, I'll do this quick for my other camera.
As we look close to the structure, everybody see the big black concrete wall at the back of this structure. And if you look halfway up the wall right there, you guys see those barred windows. Those barred windows right there, that's the Peterborough jail. Alright, it's not the jail, but it looks like a jail. The single barred windows that are halfway up the wall is a tunnel that travels through the center of our lift on, actually large enough to accommodate the inner city functions. Today, when we build very large concrete structures like this, everyone, we put incredible amounts of reinforcing steel inside them. Although, when they built this, never quite built anything like this before. So that idea of putting steel inside it, that wasn't even thought of yet, everyone.
This structure we're looking at, this is one big, giant, solid piece of concrete. There is absolutely zero reinforcing steel in any of this structure. How's that make you feel? What Rogers did, made a very dry mixture of concrete and Wembley ordered in place and energy tank in place everywhere. Thus reinforced and it still stands at nearly 120 meters.
Back on my seat.
Of course, once the sea-doos make
Go
their
over
way
there.
behind
Good
us,
spot.
that large
Good,
gate should begin to come back and up and out of the water today. And as this happens, it gives me the opportunity to explain to you all how this works a little bit more in detail.
Is that cool?
See, a few things are going to happen behind us today as the gate comes up and latches shut. One, we have a lock attendant back here, everybody. This is Olivia. Everyone say hi, Olivia.
Hi.
She's got a really important job to do for all of us.
Who's Olivia?
She gets to drop in those fluorescent manual locking pins. There is a fluorescent pin for each side of each one of these chambers. What these pins are actually for is to prevent that back gate from falling open. Did they ever tell you the time got hot where the top of the back gate just burst open? That only happened twice. We probably shouldn't talk about that right now. What is going to happen today, however?
As the gate latches shut today, everyone, we are going to maintain a 7-foot water level inside this chamber which we are sitting in.
We have buffering.
The chamber sits at 7 feet, and now behind us is that 7 feet. It's always at 7 feet. It controls the different. The chamber is the goes over here on the right hand side. Itself, contents of water, possibly vessels, weighs a little over 1,800 tons. The chamber that we're all sitting in is just a little bit lighter. You see the chamber up in the air, it's got 8 feet of water inside. Kind of think of us and say, like a giant bathtub.
I think we have buffering.
7 feet of water.
Are we buffering? Okay, well, Randy's saying no. It's just showing up. Let me know. I'm gonna record some on my phone. But all my devices are overheated right now.
The chamber that is way up in the air will give you all drawn. This forces the water fluid from being in the chamber after the
Hi. Are you part of this or you're just traveling like this? Wow. Where are you coming from? St. Louis, Missouri. Oh. And what time did you start? Like heading out? Middle of April? So you've been... What? Wow, that's fascinating. All around Florida. Amazing. Well, welcome to Canada. All right.
Was I tell you the mishap of the 90s, shouldn't I? It's not that bad, really.
Oh, sick.
They used to load boats
All right.
here simultaneously,
So
ladies and gentlemen. They would have this lower gate open and boats coming here like we just did, but they would have the upper gate open at the exact same time, let boats come in up there. It actually made lobsters around here a lot quicker. Well, in this day back in the 90s, they were doing just that. Well, our lockmaster... He didn't say thank you. I wasn't sure we're up anyways. That's Lockmaster Nick on the PA guy. He's the guy with his finger on the button is about to skyrocket us all up into the air. Maybe it's not quite that fast.
Sorry, I'm reaching for my water.
The last lock took us about 15 minutes to rise 4 meters and 12 feet. This one to 65 feet in 3 minutes, so hold on. Finish that story. In the 90s, they were doing just that. Our lockmaster in a tower watching this lower chamber as boats are coming in. Well, sometimes when they're loading and unloading boats around here, they have to add or release pressure to the big cylinder underneath us, guys, to keep the gates aligned. So when he was adjusting, he thought he was adjusting the lower chamber, and in fact he was adjusting the upper chamber, ladies and gentlemen. What did that do, you ask? I'll let you all know. When we get to the top, it wrecked the rubber seal around the upper gate, and then the entire upper canal drained into the lower canal. So they don't do that anymore. Great storage room like this. Of course, the amazing feature about this, ladies and gentlemen, moving boat traffic 2 directions simultaneously. I seen a boat in here when we were pulling in. So as we go by, if you guys can see them, this is the one part of the cruise
We're
you're going to take
moving
a
up.
picture of a complete stranger.
On the elevator.
They're probably taking pictures of us too. Hey, how you guys doing over there? It looks like they're just a small trawler-style boat over there and a 62-ton cruise ship inside of here.
We're
It makes
going up,
absolutely
up, up, up.
zero difference how many boats are in either chamber because every boat displaces its own weight in water. Whichever chamber has to put in water, guys, also has the 130 tons. Archimedes figured that out. As we continue to rise, do not worry about the little bit of shaking we feel from time to time, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember the structure's about to turn 121.
Wow, amazing.
You would shake too if you were 121. Come on.
Amazing.
Friends that shake right now.
I'm standing up. Everyone.
It is just
Safe.
one single foot of water that's making this all happen, ladies and gentlemen, because after they open up the crossover valve, well, gravity does everything else. So this is like a giant teeter-totter, a seesaw, let's say.
Sorry. Let's go to the front.
Slow down as you get closer to the top to let the rubber seals slide back together because they really do not like any leaks around here.
But as we come up to a stop, I kind of told you all that we were all
I'm gonna get on my knees for this.
being misled you just because now that we've all reached the top today, we've only actually risen 64 feet.
We're up. Up high.
Essentially, an extra 130 tons. So we rise the next foot, really simple. Give you a little idea of down the walls and around. What is that can happen is we're all going to leave this long. We're going to be able to cruise now.
Of course, they didn't sleep on there. They must have docked and sleep. I wonder if they have tents. Okay, I'll give somebody else time.
Okay, when all the gates are closed again, this lock is ready to go back into motion, except for this one's now the heavier chamber, 8 feet of water, and the bottom one, the lighter at just 7. And they just keep doing that all day long, up and down. So the only thing they really have to do a transfer, open it both of the gates and then push them up. This is also assuming they have electricity in place. A lot of people ask and wonder, what if there's no electricity? Well, if the power goes out and the transfer starts, the transfer completes. This is no electricity at all. It actually takes more electricity to boil your kettle at home for a coffee than to actually make this go up and down. What they have a really big problem doing, though, is opening and closing the gates. And just to let everybody know, they have enough reserve power to open and close one chamber gate. If you happen to be in the other chamber, you are stuck there until the power comes back on. I myself, as a captain, have been stuck in the upper chamber for 4 hours. Not so bad as a passenger. You guys get to go to the bar. For the captain, it's no fun at all. Our gates opened up here in front of us. We have now risen a total of 77 feet, just shy of 23 meters from the lake that we started in to this canal directly in front of us.
Putting you on the harness so I can capture it on my other phone a bit. I'm sorry, not looking at the chats. We're gonna go for lunch after this, so we moving again.
Yeah, let's go, boys. It is Nick up in the tower today.
We're moving.
Abbotsbury down there. Well, now that we have all gone up the Peterborough hydraulic LiftLock,
Trying to widen this, but it's not helping. Not feeling, not widening. So that's good that we can stand.
He was born right here in Peterborough, everyone. He went to Trinity College in Port Hope, and he later went to McGill University in Montreal. That's where he earned his engineering degree. When he was first hired as the chief engineer of the waterway to overcome the 77-foot elevation change, this is a houseboat rental. Come and keep your cameras ready. His first major thought to put in giant floodlocks in beside ever-existing hydro-generating dam and plant on the river. So all this, but in order to do so, he would have had to shut down the river. This would shut down milling industries for months.
Thank you so much, Peter, for the
So that was
$10
completely unacceptable.
super chat.
Instead,
I really
he decided
appreciate
to go
it.
over to Europe. This
My
is where he
apologies
studied locks and
that I
dams,
can't
and now he's
do my
building
little
plants
thing.
for some
I'll
time,
get that
as they
in
did blocking
after.
systems for
But
many
thank you
years
so
before he
much.
did.
I'm trying to focus
It was
and give you guys a good
when he actually put his plans into
view.
to build what we all just seen today.
Thank you so much.
Although under construction of the LiftLock,
Appreciate it.
Rogers was very secretive. He would only give his men enough information just to keep them working every day. Rogers was very fearful that if partway through construction, if there was a change of government, his government put a job would then be in jeopardy. Here comes a blue herring off the left-hand side too.
Ooh. Oh, we missed on the other
Well, in
side.
fact, partway through construction,
still
there
flying.
was a change of government. But
There it
nobody
is.
exactly knew what Rogers was trying to do here,
Gliding.
so they continued to let him work on the waterway. It was nearing completion of this LiftLock, however, a couple of engineers that were supposed to be working alongside Rogers, well, they decided to get
Houseboat
They
rental.
went to the government, said what he was
They
building
rented
here
that,
was
I
of poor
guess.
quality, that it was extremely costly and completely unnecessary.
I should just stay back
Well, the only
here.
thing that those other engineers actually did was get Rogers fired. Rogers quietly packed away his things and nothing was quite heard from the man. The entire time after that, this waterway was continuously growing and expanding, and Rogers always wanted to clear his name. It took him 9 years to convince the government to hold a hearing. During that hearing, he proved what he had built would be of good quality, that it would last a number of years with very little maintenance, but even more importantly, it could move boat traffic in 2 directions simultaneously using just 12 inches
I don't know why
or a
it's getting
single
stuck.
foot of water,
My wide angle.
thus conserving water. In turn, never let the rivers around Peterborough go dry through excessive lock usages, and that would never let any mill or industry that thrived off the river to go dry as well. For that one single reason alone, Rogers did clear his name, but he was never rehired by the waterway. In fact, the government even sent him a bill. It was $126. It was the cost of that hearing. He didn't live out the rest of his days right here in town. Died in 1927. Oh boy. Normally this is a really fun spot of the canal, everyone. We are now coming up to the Blue Bridge, or the High Bridge. Or at least a lot of the kids and the teenagers around here call it that. For on hot and warm summer days, I'm surprised you're not here right now. There are some of them here right now, about to jump off the top of this bridge, swimming back and forth and under it. As we get a little bit closer here, you're going to notice the Tarzan row. This is where they try to perform several acrobatic leaps for my passengers. Much to the dismay of many of us boaters that travel through here, but nonetheless, it is a pretty good spot for swimming. It was school out now in these hot summer days
I don't know
upon
if
us.
I'm
We
allowed
still
to
haven't
do
run
all
over a
this,
kid
but-
up here in almost 2 weeks. The long
I'm
summer.
gonna just go here.
As we get by the High Bridge, we're going to reach the midway point. This is Scott Canal. Up here, we point out to turn around and come back the way we came. If we were to continue on north this way, that's the next Buffalo Swing Bridge just coming to view here in front of us. Continue on up the canal, we would reach as far as this canal and Trent University on both sides of the waterway. Trent does possess about 1,500 acres on each side of the water, and a little further up from that is the massive campus itself. Split half by this waterway joined by a very large footbridge, it's right there in this Moving on north from there, 5 more lots and 60 miles of water get right into the town of Lakefield. You go up past and through Lake Catchwanuga, right past Lakefield Private College. This
This is the college where Prince Andrew went to school in his senior year, bringing English heritage on board, and so did the present King of Spain. Continue on north from there through lots of different locks and lots of different places. Places like Burley Falls, Young's Point, Clear, Stony Lake, Lovesick Lake, Wonderful Buckhorn. Also get onto Pigeon Lake, and on the far side of that, we have Bob Cajun. Bob Cajun is right here. It is the site of our very first lock. It was built in 1833. It's now lock number 32. Continue on north from there, just a little further than that, to eventually top our system off in Balsam Lake. From there, the water actually flows in two directions. One, right back towards us and all the way back into Lake Ontario. But from there, it also flows west, down to the Kirkfield LiftLock through Lake Simcoe,
get some water
and
as
eventually
well.
into Georgian Bay.
Noticed a lot of good restaurants around where we
This
boarded.
small little bay that we are all going to turn around in, we call this one Toby's Bay. Toby was a man that labored here, and at the same time Rogers was coming through here. These two gentlemen, they actually worked alongside each other. When Mr. Toby was working here, everyone, he got to work for a whopping 10 cents an hour.
Wow.
Put in a 10-hour day, so you could roughly say he made about $1 a day. Now I know that doesn't really seem like an awful amount of money, but let's put this into perspective. At that time, right here in Peterborough, you could build a 2-story brick house completely finished for about $250 to $350. So at $1 a day, he was making a really good wage. He built houses over the left-hand corner of the bay here, kind of in front of us with the round chairs at the end of the dock. His family sold this property a number of years back. And so oftentimes we are traveling right up and through this area. A lot of people try to imagine or envision what used to be here before the LiftLock got here. Of course, a lot of people think this was a river, and where the LiftLock is, a very tall waterfall. Well, in fact, in all reality, all this area here, nothing but farmland. Nothing but a great big dry old hill where the LiftLock is. Between us and the LiftLock, a valley ran through here. There wasn't even a stream running through it. This entire canal was dug out with horse and scraper and pick and shovel. It was shored up with stones and cavey and walling until they flooded it in 1904. And when they did that, and off to our entire right-hand side as we do travel back, they created the island to be city. But it is an island nonetheless, with a river flowing down one entire side of it.
Capture the
And this
moment a
canal
little
system
bit
is
on my
down the
other
entire
phone.
other side. It's joined only by a few bridges. And of course, that tunnel that does travel to the center of the LiftLock. Although I call the old bridge in front of us the Blue Bridge or the High Bridge, its real name is actually the McFarland Street Bridge. At one time, this was the single-lane horse and carriage bridge. This was actually a cattle crossing for the eastern towns from here as well. Places like Norwood, Havelock, Warsaw, Durham. Farmers would walk their cattle down through path and trail, would march across this bridge directly in front of us, march all of those cattle right through the center of East City right here, across the bridge that sits right at Quaker Oats, then right down the waterbank to the Holiday Inn, right beside our dock. Guess I should probably let you all know too that the cows weren't going there for a holiday. At that time, that piece of property was known as Canada Packers. So unfortunately, it was a one-way trip for the poor old cows. Things were done quite differently there back then as well. After a long day of processing at a meatpacking factory, well, anything that wound up down on the shop floor, well, it didn't get sent off for dog food like it does nowadays. Back then, they just shoveled it into the lake. So the lake wasn't so nice to swim in back then, but we had great big fish. Peterborough actually held the world's largest muskie until the mid-60s. I am sure it is pushing better close to 28 years ago now. We had some teenagers in this town decide to steal a Honda car. They did joyride around the town with this car for a while, but they were done with the car. They brought it right down to this park, passing us all by on our left-hand side.
They also decided that
Yes.
they should deposit the car into the canal.
Kurt and
And it very
Goldie
quickly
they
sunk to the
own a
bottom.
cottage out. I
That
don't know
very
if it's
same
here.
day, one of our captains,
Or is it
Captain Derek,
Muskoka?
he had
What
3
did you
trips
say?
up through this area. All of those excursions went just fine. That was until he was watching the late night news with his wife. There he was, comfortably sitting on the couch at home, and seen a police car right down in this park, and a tow truck removing the car from the canal. It was at that point that Captain Derek realized he was probably the first and only
I might
captain
take up
in
their
Canada
offer and
to have ever run over
stay
a car
another
6
night
times
for
in one day with a
free
boat.
for the
No one was
inconvenience.
gonna know that.
I still want to cover so much. I don't want to. Yeah, we'll see. Lone Ranger, you noted about Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. Is it here in Peterborough that they own property? Or Muskoka?
As we all prepare to come around the corner, approach the LiftLock from this direction, it will not quite look as high or as impressive as it does from the other side. But underneath that Canada flag, where there's the Red Roof Tower, that is where the lockmaster himself used to have to shout out orders to all his other lock attendants to open and close the old steel gates. That is where he himself would operate a very large crank. The crank had a gear on it, and that gear had a chain around it. That chain went all the way down, right around the crossover valve, and all the way back up. That's where he himself would open and close the crossover valve manually. It was in the mid-60s they modernized this lock, dropping about $2 million into this one lock alone, and they changed a number of different things. You may actually get a picture of this blue herring here. They changed a number of different things. They removed all the old steel gates and replaced them with aluminum gates, and also all of the mechanisms for opening and closing those old steel gates, because they used to use high pressure air and water. They replaced those with electric hydraulics. Well, they decided that they should take the lockmaster out of that Red Roof Tower there, put him on the upper reach. That's where they are now, where they also installed the electrical control panel. Made all of this a push button operation. Even yet, still today, underneath the red roof right there, still remains empty, everyone, because they don't go up there anymore.
No, not that I can't find it. I can't look
Guess
up
that's
for
not
it. I'm
entirely
just
true,
confirming,
because they
like
do go up there
asking
for 2 reasons.
someone to confirm
Somebody
if
goes up there in the
it's
spring,
here
put
or
that
Muskoka
Canada flag
that they
up,
own
and
property.
then somebody will go back up there in the
I'm
fall
not searching
to
for
take
it.
a
I'm
bank
so focused giving you guys
If you
this
get a chance to look up into
awesome
the tower from this side of the boat here,
experience.
guys, please do so. It is actually lined with a BC cedar, extremely tastefully done, all in tongue and groove. It's a real shame that people don't go up there anymore.
Sorry.
Really surprising to have
Am I in your way? In your way?
As I myself go in the chamber right now, I'm going to check the runs for this empty.
Where were you last night?
I had too many.
It's his fault,
I thought he was talking to me, yelling at me. I thought he was yelling at me. He said I had too many beers. Need to get my money's worth.
Oh, there was one thing I forgot to ask everybody before we even pulled in the chamber the first time here.
What?
Is there maybe anybody on board today that's just a little nervous of heights? Because it's too late. They're closing in back in behind us. We're probably going to hear about it. I don't see it again.
Right.
At the time,
Trying to get up now.
It should take us all the exact same amount of time to go down, so it didn't go up. That is, of course, unless the seals blow up from underneath us today, in which case we will drop like a teapot. But that doesn't have a permanent purpose.
Do you guys know why I see take
It makes a very interesting noise for me. Read the bank.
This guy's a real character. Captain and MC. I have to give other people a turn.
The big red brick one, that one over there, that's new construction going over there, so it's multiple houses.
Did you get up there is a good view, okay? This is the whole ride. There's another LiftLock cruise, a cabin staying overnight, and they travel along. That might be something in the future, but I have to find out how much that would cost. It'll be neat to experience. How beautiful the view is. Fall time would be amazing. But if I do come back to explore other things, I would do this by myself, and I want to do a full pre-record, 1080p, you know, that would be nice. I'm starving. So I think when we dock, I'll end it. I want it separate from what I'm doing next. So I want to set a separate one from eating and chatting. So I want this just to be for the LiftLock. Oh, we are lowering. Cool. Look behind. We're lowering. I'm trying to set up my camera.
Quick question. Excuse me.
Can I just squeeze in here? there.
As we all reach the bottom, the secondary chamber also reach the top. Pull the pins, open the gate. We're going to lose a foot of water, and essentially the
Where
130
does it-
tons
what
from the
does that
top to
happen?
the bottom will all continue on our way. You guys should love the next story.
Maybe.
Actually, I forgot
And
to
then another
capture the moment on my other phone. It looks like a jail. So much for using my GoPro.
Obviously, we have a fan here. I agree, it's an amazing spot. It's a great spot. So we have this meat butcher in town. His name's Franz. It's actually his oldest son's place. So they have their meat is. You can't miss it. 180.
Oh, it's flooding.
You gotta drive on there.
It's flooding. Oh.
Yeah, let's go. Now that we have all safely and successfully traveled the Peterborough LiftLock, well, I think it's pretty safe to tell you some about the 200 accidents we had here when that gate moved to the top. We can call these accidents minor because, well, we were here that day. When they first began operating these locks back in the early 1900s and operated very much like it did today, with one single employee down here on the upper chamber, putting in and taking out those aggressive manual locking pins. When they modernized the lock in the mid-60s, they decided to take out those fluorescent pins and put in electric hydraulics. This was not only to open and close the very large gates, but to also latch them shut. They laid off the employee that hung it at the bottom so that only one employee up at the control panel could run the entire lock. When they did this, everything worked great, at least for a few years. Until one day a small fishing boat came up through Lock 20, came down the canal system directly in front of us, and it actually went to that very same chamber in which we all just left. They closed the gate behind this small fishing boat, the light went off on the pin to say the lock had sufficiently closed, and the lock master recovered the motion. As it climbed, it got about 15 or 20 feet above the ground, then all of a sudden, that gate burst open and outrushed all the water. As they began to climb up the lock here today, when it got up about 15 or 20 feet, and then all of a sudden that back gate burst open and outrushed all the water. As the water rushed out, it drugged the fishing boat out with it. But as the saying goes,
Well,
and at
that was
time, the
exciting.
captain,
I've been wanting to do this
he
for
went down
a
to
couple of
fishing.
years now. Well, at first, I just learned, actually, no, not a couple of years, but a couple of years, I learned of these kind of lifts, well, through social media and all that, but it was in Germany, so I thought I was going to have to go fly to Germany because they have them there, but it's not like this. I would still, if I can afford it, fly to Germany and check out their LiftLock, but it's a different. It looks different. It looks nice. Like anyway, so somebody told me that there's one in Peterborough. You don't have to go down. So at least we did it here in Canada.
This is his first time going over the LiftLock, so he was a little confused. He was a little shaken up. But what he said to the lockmaster was, if that's the way the locks operated, he'd like to do that again.
They did a little investigation, determined it was a human error that had caused the problem, so they continued to run the locks in that manner. And they worked great for a few more years after that. Until one day, 4 larger vessels came up through Lock 20, heading down the canal system into one of the very same 2 chambers. They did close the gate behind these vessels. The light did go off, saying the lock is sufficiently closed, and once again, the lock master put it into motion. Got a little further up this time, everyone, 40 or 45 feet. But sure enough, all of a sudden that back gate did burst open and out rushed all the water. Luckily enough for those larger vessels, they had wrapped their lines around the chamber walls very much like we did. Hey, boss. So as the water rushed out this time, all the boaters had to eventually do was loosen off their lines and lower themselves down into the empty tub. Oh, they were left hanging for some while, though. It was at this point that the government sent in several engineers, dismantled a very large portion of our LiftLock for extremely thorough investigation. It was at the end of that investigation that they determined it was not human error that was causing all of the problems. No, in fact, it was mechanical failure. So in turn, they decided to bring back the manual locking pins and, of course, the employee to put them in and out every time, and they do not run the locks without the pins in place. There was also at the time a not only passing through locks here were free, everyone, but the lock master lived right on site in his very own house. There were 2 houses up for the LiftLocks. There was one for the lock master and one for his helper. You could come anytime, day or night, ring your bell, blow your horn, or even just toot your whistle, and the lock master would come out and get you through. Nowadays, though, all run by Parks Canada employees. These are all federal employees, of course. They operate from May 2 for a weekend, usually until Thanksgiving weekend, which for Canadians has been October.
Adjusting.
Coming into the end of October and a little closer into November. They winterize this part of our canal, everyone. Just a little further up from where we turned around, a large set of trap gates cut off all the water flow down through this area. They lower the upper reach all the way down to the bottom. They also lower each chamber of the LiftLock all the way to the bottom and do drain the water to each one of them. When they are done lowering this canal, in which we are all traveling on by several feet of water, but then it freezes over, the city of Peterborough then takes over management of the ice surface. And this becomes a skating rink, everyone, from the Blue Bridge right here all the way back to the LiftLock. I have to rephrase that now, because they actually canceled that funding this year. What a shame. If you ever come skating on our canal, contact the local MP and get that funding back. Now, the locals around here did a phenomenal job. They came down with their own personal snowblowers and ATVs and cleaned the ice off for all the kids. What a great job they did.
Here we come, approaching Lock 20 for the final descent back into the lake. When they first opened up Lock 20 out in front of us, everyone, it's actually got the exact same birthday as the LiftLock. But no one ever recognizes this poor little lock, though. They only anticipated seeing 1 or 2 boats per day, even on their busiest time of year. Never in their wildest dreams could they have ever imagined the tremendous amount of pleasure craft that would travel through here, as the lock directly in front of us has logged into as many as 357 boats in a 12-hour period. What a fun ride for the 1 or 2 are expecting. They're good. I was telling you. Listen, this is like not a high-end version of the Caesar on this boat, guys. Don't get remember we got rim rented, but like everyone on it. Just gave this American gentleman his first Caesar ever. He's going to get another one. Welcome to Canada. So this is one of my favorite parts of the job, ladies and gentlemen. Does anybody have any questions? And to let you all know, I am the only captain that does this. You should take advantage. Any questions? That was easy. Oh, we're pretty good. Go ahead. 245 miles, 386 kilometers. Do you want to challenge me now? I don't know. I work on the translator, but I don't know anything about the reader. You probably go for a cruise on the reader. They probably know more ways than I do. I noticed generally started around the same time. That's all we know. I don't know much about it. The only thing I know about the reader is the fourth voyage of the river. And they have a skating rink.
Put the ice in,
That's
put a little bit of Tabasco,
Anybody else?
a little bit of Worcestershire.
Are we sure?
Shot, and
Okay, once again, that was easy. For the kids on board. There's a couple here. I'm not sure there's any kids downstairs or not, but if you are, you guys can come up to the front. You can go inside my wheelhouse and check this all out. But listen to the instructions. You can spin the big wheel in there as much as you want. You are not going to win anything. But you are not allowed to touch buttons or keys. Okay? Check it out. Take turns. And once the little kids are done, if any of the big kids want to go spin the wheel, there's one in every group.
It's a workout.
They're going to complete the reverse process now, ladies and gentlemen, but the exact same thing. They'll walk around circles and behind us, come back out to the gates in front of us, open up or operate the gate valves again, and essentially it's kind of like pulling the plug in the bathtub as we go down. It's only take us 5 as we go down. The boats are closer to 15. It took us, come on.
Married before they get married in Mexico. So we went to celebrate. And because of it,
Neato.
Pretty cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad for 121 years old.
Yeah. Neato.
this is about it. This is the extent of it.
It's a torque system.
Yeah.
That's a good workout. It's a good workout, I say. Oh, what are we doing? We're going down. Oh, he's taking a break. The kids are just looking at the... We're going down now or what? What's going on?
Stay home?
yeah.
Or are we going to do something else?
What?
So we going to do something else? Or
I was going to, but I wasn't doing it. That's why I was gonna-
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Thanks, buddy.
woman yelling at me because I was closing the bridge while she was driving up. And I'm like, okay, you were.
Okay, I don't think I should record them complaining. What's going on now? Oh, that thing is closing the water. Yeah. What you drinking?
Caesar.
A Caesar?
Yeah, very good.
That's not a real Caesar. Is it your first time having a Caesar?
Yeah.
No, you gotta go to a bar and have a Caesar. They'll salt the rim like
Yeah.
and then you get a celery stick and
It's
everything.
just like the Bloody Mary. Except paint juice. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. This is so cool, guys. I am so happy I'm sharing this with you all. I'm just trying to figure out. There's a boat in front of us. Do we want to go see the steering wheel thing? But then how does the driver or instructor come back? I don't want to zoom.
It's a self-conscious thing, ladies and gentlemen. As the ship goes down, I stand over here. You guys know that old saying, if it goes down with his ship, that is old school, you guys. Nowadays, we get a helicopter and here, we're the first ones gone. And I'm not sure if any of the other adults in the world have started drinking yet, or if you might want to start to see off the kids start.
Alright. I'm just thinking I'm doing next. So what are those the three Americans on that, what is it called? The vehicle or whatever they were driving. They started in April. I wonder if they're documenting it. My apologies, my apologies for not greeting everyone, but I would like to welcome you all. I try to focus on the views for you all. So I will, before ending, I will catch up on the chats if it allows me to. Maybe we're gonna go for lunch, but that'll be on another. I'm gonna start another stream. Once we dock, I will not end right away. I will take in the harbor of Peterborough. I've been mixing it up and calling it Pickering. Pickering, Peterborough. I don't know. Going down, 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 down. We're going down, 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 down. We'll go walk. Everyone's going up and down anyway. We'll go downstairs.
And with that one level, we need to open the lock the rear end. Continue on the way.
But then how does he come down? Oh, how did he get it? How did he get on board? Huh.
It's a little easier to say, but it means basically the same thing. As we get the head out of the lake, shimmering or shining waters.
I can't get anything to drink hard because I haven't really eaten.
This is going to revert to the new rail line.
Selling popcorn for $3.
Sparkling Waters rail line is simply converted to Kawartha rail line. I thought it was a good pick.
Not bad view down here. Hope your view is okay.
Yeah, let's go, Seth.
Where is my other phone? There it is. 2:30. Pretty good.
As we leave today, how about a huge round of applause for the Lockett that is putting us through on this hot day. We do truly appreciate you guys. Had a busy morning today. Hopefully it slows down for you in the afternoon. See you tomorrow. As we get right back out of the lake and across the lake on our left-hand side, you're going to see our second of two long sandy beaches. And it is a piece of property at one time that was owned by Sir John A. Macdonald, our very first Prime Minister of Canada. He actually owned the piece of property while he was Prime Minister. Yellow farmhouse up there. Quite a number of years ago, the city of Peterborough tore down little farmhouse, made room for 5 large soccer fields, a covered in picnic area, very large playground. Beach, we see off the left, of course, just to the left of that beach volleyball workout area. North side of the property. You can go stay at the campground. Or we could come up for that transient camper just a day or two. Hold on to your hats, a little windy out here.
Oh my god.
Calling the piece of property Beaver Beat Market is called this because the creeks that run behind it, the Beaver and the Beat Creek. A large wetland directly in front of us, and a bit of this is on the left-hand side. It's down into the lake center.
That's the creek.
The cemetery.
It's actually an island.
Right here in town. It was right part of our city.
Back out over there by the river.
They found as the population increasingly grew, it was going to be far too small. So they decided to dig concrete graves at the Beaver headstones and build a house on this rather piece of property. And that you say more because more property was employed by the United States today. And since then, the city of Peterborough has grown entirely around this very piece of property. Out of the point of this large hunk of land, there's a large granite rock, and beside that granite rock, a small great headstone. It is that of Herbie Rogers. One of his dying wishes were to be buried right here in the Lake Cemetery, overlooking the canal system he did decide to build. Never through his lifetime was he recognized for his truly brilliant engineering feat on our line. We certainly honor that. As we cross the lake, and I call this little lake, but realistically, it was just this bit of the river until they put it on 19. And right beside Lot 19, they also installed the dam. They flooded this area between 9 and 12 feet of water and slowly rolled the shoreline and basically all we don't see here today. So realistically, what we're looking at is actually a man-made lake. Of course, right over here in the center of our lake, our flotation device, the Peterborough Centennial Fountain is still up and operating. It was first placed in the lake in 1967. It is in Lake Geneva, Switzerland, a free-floating fountain, and yes, it is Canada's largest free-floating fountain. With a concrete base that is filled with styrofoam so that it does float, held in place with 3 rotate anchors prevented from blowing around in this kind of wind. Around the base of this fountain provides small jets in the water, a large jet making up approximately 7 1,700 gallons of water a minute. And also around the base of this mountain, high-powered LED lights and shining up through this heavy mist in the evening hours. It gives our mountains every single kilometer of the sky. It's quite a lovely thing to see. Immediately through the heavy mist down in front of us on the outside of it, you can see fireworks were sitting in the lake. It got dislodged a couple winters back. It went there south of the river somewhere. They're not bringing it back. That's where we lit off fireworks on special occasions. It used to be a great organization at Canal called the Peterborough Festival. Along with a concert every Wednesday and Saturday, we would shoot off fireworks on those exact same evenings. Unfortunately, they discontinued the fireworks process and all this. So now we have the big music festival. Has anybody ever told you I always want to try to beat the mist? I know this isn't exactly Niagara Falls. It's on the Canadian side, but 1,700 gallons of water a minute, that will do the trick. Now, I do have a lot of electrical equipment here. I can't get wet. I'm just going to show this works.
Right here. Be 400 meters.
I wouldn't do that to you guys. It's almost hot enough though. Come back when it's 46 degrees and we will. You know, still on the piece of property directly out in front of us, Del Quarry Park, we do hold radio concerts all summer long. We have seen all sorts of entertainers here. We have seen, are you guys ready for this list?
Costs $100
Sean McDermott, the Irish Rover, Blue Radio, Tom Coffee, George, Jeff Foxy, Sierra College, Jeff Keith, Rose, Coffee, 40 College, Jeff TX, George, around the street, right on so many more. Anywhere from 6 to 16,000 people who crowd themselves in our park here. It is all absolutely free for us. It is a very great fun organization. We hold it behind the Lincoln right here in Ontario. So glad it came back. The city of Peterborough is also quite fortunate to have a small this virtually seen vessels here from all over. I myself, I have seen vessels from Barbados and Jamaica, Great Britain, New Zealand, Australia. Quite a few boats come and stay with us, being right here in the central system. They'll come stay with just for one single day. And secondly, the boats have very necessity. Been converted over to a bar heater in the upper half. One of the very few places you can go and enjoy a nice cold beverage or on the wheel right down here at water's edge. Real simple idea, and it's right around the corner. The beautiful one here says a little bit better.
Go check that place out.
The beautiful lighthouse is quite a bit better, like I said. You can even get there eventually. The white portion of the building below the lighthouse, we might all pass for and staff hangouts. In just a moment or so, that old train bridge is going to be back into view on our rights. When you can see the train bridge look up and Toronto, the train bridge goes up the top clock tower, Peterborough Square is the center of Peterborough. Just to the right-hand side of that, a very large building you will not miss, our Ministry of Natural Resources, and it runs as a number of offices.
Maybe we'll check that place out.
As we fight the wind of the current towards our own dock today, on behalf of myself and my crew aboard the course, thank you so much, everyone, for traveling with me.
My water is upstairs.
I told LiftLock and Sean.
Come back down.
Right here. If you could all kindly please stay seated or hold onto a rail nice and tight to our completely into our own dock. Hopefully we will not be losing anybody today. Down to the boat and dock and out to the drink. Thank you so much, everyone.
Blocking the view. Record anyone. Actually, downstairs, that would have been a great view just down there. We need to be upstairs.
It is going to take my crew here a moment or two, everybody, tie the boat down nice and tight, get the gangplank down. For those of you that did enjoy the cruise, do not hesitate, take a pamphlet with you, pass it off to a family member or friend. I would certainly enjoy taking them up over the clock sidewalks as well. If you are driving home today, please have a very safe drive. You're staying in Peterborough. Try and stay cool in this hot but very beautiful day. Thank you again, everybody. My name is Captain Jody. Enjoy your day.
They serve the same stuff. It's the same.
That was awesome.
Down there on the way home, get a
Amazing.
cheeseburger and onion rings and walk the rest of the way.
Can we exit now? I hope you all enjoyed that. Oh, they're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Amazing.
It isn't a Caesar unless there's a pepperoni. You guys are free to go if bottlenecks in the back place and all that. That's like I'm dismissing the class.
Simon says exit. Well, that was amazing. I want to get a better picture of this now. Let me get a thumbnail. Well, I have a thumbnail already, but I might change it if I get a better. I annoyed everyone. But everyone was up recording too. Not just me. Did you want me to take the picture for you? I think that'll be probably better. So you can... Is that an iPhone? No. Okay. There's other ways. Okay. Don't want to get. All right. Maybe move this way so I can get. I think, yeah, that's good. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. There we go.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. Oh, shoot. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me take a picture on my other phone. 2:41. That's just really, like, we started at 1 o'clock. What amazing. That is a really good cruise. Okay, let these people exit. I don't want them in my shot. I want the side. I don't want to fall in the water. Be a full.
Probably does.
Cool. Okay. I saw Mr. Clean, John Burke. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me. Oof. Everything's sticking to me.
I live on the other side of the river.
So I did go to Dollarama and get sunglasses, by the way. Temporary. These are what I got at Dollarama for now. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining me. Who came in and I didn't. My apologies if I can't get to greet you. But when I do things like this, I try to just focus on the experience and oh, that boat there too for you all, right? There's a fish and chips over there. I love, and it's halibut. I noticed that first, but then I'm like, I want fish and chips, but then I don't get full on fish and chips. But I noticed that too, so we'll go check it out. I do need to use the wash. So we were gonna end this one, and I'll start another stream for the food and a walk after. There's like souvlaki pit there. There's a bunch of stuff. The Dollarama is in there. This plaza. There's a shop there I went into and asked if it would be okay to come in on a live stream, so that will be after our lunch and walk. We'll explore a little bit. And then we will just walk around and see. And yes, I do plan to walk over. Yeah, well, like I have one more night stay. I might extend it since they're offering me another night for complimentary due to what happened. Yeah, we'll get into chat like that on the second stream. I don't want to focus on what happened. I'll do the update on the second stream. So they shot the fireworks on this over here somewhere. Because I was standing over there. So we'll walk over to this place here, the Lighthouse Lounge and Grill. Let's see what the menu is. Obviously, probably burgers and fries. So again, thank you so much. My apologies for not greeting everyone. But I appreciate everyone joining me on this amazing experience at the LiftLock cruise. I would definitely, it's worth to do it again, I'm telling you. Because, it's always one of those things that if you do it again, you see something else like, oh, I didn't remember seeing that in the first one, There's other restaurants, like I walked the boardwalk behind Holiday Inn. There's another restaurant there too. Plenty of restaurants around here. I mean, I had such an issue finding it. But mind you, it was late and holiday yesterday, so. Okay, let me bring up my stream on this. Okay. Hey, Dawn is here. Did you just come on, Dawn? Or did you miss the whole thing? Can't get much better than that. TBS, thank you. 50 cents per lens. I was determined I had to get glasses for this boat cruise on my eyes. Because my eyes are not used to just looking like, I've always worn sunglasses, right? So it's so odd not to have sunglasses on. And I was gonna cave in and get like maybe even a sun visor, but that's not even a thing that I wear. I don't mind, like it's fine. I think it looks great on other people, but myself, no. Okay. Hi to woman. I don't know if I said hi, but hello. Yeah, I've been floating around the boat, knowing like I should have did that earlier. Like I was sitting down like a good school student thing. And Randy, oh Randy, did you give me another $3? Thank you so much. Didn't see that. Okay. And Dave from Niagara Falls is here. Welcome. I hope you're still on. And the signal was great, right, guys? You said? Bear in the garden. Hello. Sorry, and I didn't catch if Lona Ranger answered me about Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. Because when they did buy, they were the first celebrities, really, to buy something in Ontario. And when the word was out, you can Google it all. When the word was out that they bought here, or here or whatever, Muskoka, I can't remember. Everyone was flocking over to their property, around their property, gawking and everything. And Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, they were getting so annoyed, especially Goldie Hawn. She even said it in an interview or something like that, to the point that they were contemplating or regretting on buying. They were gonna. Oh, who gifted? What? Paul? I didn't see that. Sorry, my apologies. I hope, did somebody screenshot that for me? Send it to me in Discord. Oh, thanks guys for looking out. I didn't see that. Mr. Clean, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Amazing. So generous of you. What else? Still don't see. Well, not on the second phone. Maybe it. No, I don't think it even shows on the last. So. No, it doesn't show up on the last. Oh, wait. No, I see Randy's. Randy, were you donating me $3 to get popcorn? Oh, this is where they're gonna have the music fest out here. We'll get copyright, so I don't think it. I mean, we can come and have a look. Holla. Oh yes, I did see Holla come on. Thanks for coming here. Thanks, Peter, for the $10. Yeah, so just a reminder, when we're on stuff like this, like, I want to just focus on giving you guys a nice view and angles and all that stuff. And at the end, I will acknowledge. Let me just pre-record my walk. I think we're gonna eat here. I don't know. But I do need to use the washroom. I see the washrooms already. But well, let's check the menu out. I don't hear music, so that's a good thing. Oh, let me get a thumbnail. I spoke too soon. I hear music. Okay, Liz. I hear music. I don't think it's gonna be good. Nope. I hear music, guys. We'll walk up. I'm gonna have to mute and walk up and fill it out and see if there is a quiet area. And I'll let them know that I'm streaming. I will be streaming my lunch. So I'm gonna mute right now. I'm gonna scope it out. No music here. It's just, I think she's a one-woman show. I don't know, guys. It's nice. And the music is just, it's chilled background music, but it's loud. Okay, I'll let you guys hear. If I sit over here, I don't want that view. Away from the speaker. I think we're good. It's faded now. So maybe here, we can sit here. What do you think? But I want to check out their menu. But if she's a one-woman show, I don't know if I... What's the menu like? Let's figure out what the menu is like. And then we might be here. Okay. I don't know. Let me check out the menu. Can I look at your menu?
Yes, please.
Lighthouse burger, chicken burger, veggie burger, Greek chicken wrap. Are you all by yourself?
I'm just waiting. Somebody just called in.
Ah,
Usually no.
chicken souvlaki. Okay, they have fish tacos. I don't know, guys. Calamari, mozzarella. Drinks, yes. Come back here for a drink. But I don't know. Where's the kitchen? Nobody working. Is she only working in the kitchen? Who's working in the kitchen? Is it downstairs? Let's go check it out. I don't know, guys. It's nice atmosphere, like. But if she's already stressed, maybe we'll come back for a drink. Yeah. I carried light. I don't have my backpack. I want it to be comfortable. What's the rating on the LiftLock cruise? Lone Ranger, you're leaving me. Bye for now. Thanks for being here. Thank you, TBS. All your help. Thanks, Gordon. Don Gordon. So the washrooms are here. I would like to use them. But, okay, let's go out there. There's more to look at. But, okay, once I find the restaurant, then I'll end this one. And then we'll have a second stream. I want to go use the washroom. Okay, so that doesn't work out. Bear, you're leaving me too? Thanks, Bear. TBS, you gonna come back on? Everyone, who's gonna come back on for lunch? Don't know yet. Who's coming back for the second stream? So maybe I'm thinking of doing the fish and chips place. Don't mind. There is another, but they have music over there. I'm not against music. It's just Thanks, T. All right, let's go. Let's try their fish and chips. Why not? See if Peterborough has a good place for fish and chips. They have other things besides that. There's the signage says they specialize in halibut, burgers, and all that. Okay. I wanted to do that walk. You need to use the washroom. Yeah, so the bus came up. So this is George Street. This is their Young Street, I guess, is George Street. Because I was on the Go bus. And we passed all this. But I didn't know the lock lift, or see, I said lock lift, the LiftLock here. I mean, we can get fish and chips, and then if there's something else, I would love to find a place for coconut shrimp. They're like the ones like I got in Kingston. Lights changing. What is this place called? I missed the pedestrian. I hear the music, testing out the speakers. I might have to mute now. No, we're not gonna check out the festival, music fest. I think we have enough road background sound. There's an interesting store. So this Holiday Inn, I bet you the rates are expensive. And staying there to get a view of the water, I wouldn't have to have left. Would have got a good fireworks show from the balcony. Alright, my light. Okay, here we go. Downtown Terminal. Terminal. To what? I can't make it. Chimang. Oh, it's Jack's. It's called Jack's. They have a Dollarama. They have Lakeview Bowl. We can go bowling. Rexall. They have a thrift store. Pizza. Vape store. The UK shop. But I think we'll do that after. Forbidden Pleasures. Randy's store. Forbidden Pleasures. Oh boy. Alright, hopefully they don't have loud music. We can sit in the patio. They have a patio. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. I hope they're good. They're open. Alright, let me do a little pre. Jeff is here. Carl is here. We're going to end this one, but not yet. I'm going to scope it out, see how it is, because it may not end up here. So. Yeah. Okay. Just let this guy go. All right. Ooh, they have ice cream. Hi, good and you? I'm live streaming on YouTube. I'm from Toronto, so I'm...
Oh, you're from Toronto?
Yeah, so this is my first time out here. So I might be trying you guys. I'm just scoping it out because music for inside or might be outside. Is it okay to eat outside?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Is it just you by yourself?
Just myself and a few people watch. But I'll be careful not to get people. It's just me and the food. So I'm just gonna end this one because I just came off of the lift. No, I'm just explaining myself. Okay, so I'll be just for myself and outside. But let me end this one. I'm gonna start a new one.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Okay. All right, so let me end it out here. We'll come. I'm gonna go use the washroom, and then we'll come back on. Net. Okay. Randy is what's Randy saying? What's wrong with Subway? What, sandwiches? I can't eat cold cuts. I can't, like, I'll eat it, but my body rejects it now. Pretty bad, like really bad. So, and I don't want to eat Subway. Because I make my own sandwiches. I can go to the grocery store and get a couple, like, whole cuts and bread and make my own. I just don't, no. I don't want Subway. Anyway. Thanks, Dawn. Thanks, Randy. And thanks for your donation. Mr. Clean, thank you so much for your gifted memberships. TBS, thanks for everything. Ruben, Dawn, Dave from Maine. No, sorry. Dave from Niagara Falls. Yeah. To the point I had to go to the hospital, like the emergency. That's how bad. I love cold cuts. Like when I had the sandwich from La Salamiere or whatever, the Italian way that they make it. So I went out and got the prosciutto, the salami, the everything, like and made my own sandwich. And I was on a craze eating that, and I had to. It's another story, and I don't want to. Okay, we can rant about it later. So, thanks TBS. Yeah, thanks to Twitch. Thanks for getting me out and about. Thanks for getting me to explore, discover, and capture life here in Peterborough, Ontario. What a fabulous experience on the LiftLock cruise. From 1 o'clock to what, 2:30? That's a good cruise. And oh, I did grab their pamphlet, so let me just look at their pamphlet thing. So here we go. And then here's the pricing and the information. And check their website. You have to call and reserve a spot. They don't ask, like, it's not locked in. You're not locking yourself in. You just reserve a spot. You have to arrive 30 minutes before departure. You pay there, and it's just cash only. Okay, it's well worth it. I would do it again and again and again and again. I enjoyed it very much. It's history, man. 100 and what years old? 100 and plus years old, and I think other people are saying there's other LiftLocks around the world, like in there. Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much. Really enjoyed it. I'm so happy to share it with you, and thanks to all your donations. Everyone's been donating, over the years since I've had my channel, but most recent generous donations recently Randy, Peter, Mr. Clean, Bear in the Garden. Sorry if I'm missing Addie, Dawn, Naturaliza, very generous. Just everyone. Myrna, TBS, everyone that's been watching, that helps too. So I hope to do more of this kind of thing. I can't do like it's not like a snap of the finger. It has to be well thought out, you know. But hi Mark, we're gonna end this one. We're gonna have another stream. I'm gonna have my lunch. We're gonna do a nice walk. I have one more night, and I might extend it because they did offer a complimentary night for the inconvenience, and I still need to figure out what's going on. We will talk about it more on the second channel. There's some update, so if those are unaware of what I'm talking about, you can watch the fireworks. After the fireworks, I did go on about it, and now I should have ended the fireworks and started another stream and keep that separate, but whatever. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I'm hungry. I need to use the loo. We'll see you in a bit, okay? Since I'm going to use the loo and all that, give me more than a minute or two. 20 minutes at the most, hopefully. Okay? Bye, guys. See you in a bit.